We'll be tying using the fly assembly kit from SHOR Fishing. This is the Foam Head Baitfish. So in your tying kit, you actually have the pattern of the fly. You got your hooks, your tying thread, you have the polar fiber, you got your wing and flash, so everything is there, and you got of course the foam, as it is a foam head, and you have the template to trace actually on the foam a pattern. And I suggest that you will trace your pattern before tying them, so just to make sure that you have everything nailed out and looking sweet and perfect. So actually I will be cutting my head first. This would be the first step. So I'm cutting, actually I've traced the template of course, and I'm cutting simply around it. So I want it to be fitting on my hook. Hook, we have it here. It is a Daichi 2477, a really hard hook. I love them, I tie with them a lot. This fly is pretty straightforward actually. It is really easy. First step, simply take your white piece of polar fiber. You take one good pinch of it, and you will be putting two times the white, and then one time each other color. So first step, you put a good pinch. You can cut it right there. Every material that I will add, I will go slightly forward with my tying thread and tie it one in front of another. So I come and take a second pinch of white. There is basically 5 wings in this tying, and I want them to be, if possible, a teeny little bit longer each one. Second one done. Then I come back with the green. So I take once again another good pinch of it. And actually I wanted to say that you always try to cut as close as possible to the base of these strands, because you want actually to use the whole length if possible on this fly. The next fly you may want to use slightly shorter hair, but when you want the full length, if you have already cut, let's say mid-length onto your patch, you're gonna end up having sadly a whole lot of half long strand in your full long wing, and you will have to try to do a little bit of cleaning in them. It would be a lot of headache. You come and take the wing and flash. Wing and flash, I want it to be slightly longer than my my wing actually. So I tie it slightly longer. I come and I fold it back. So this way I have double of the quantity, but also it creates a really smooth taper on my wing. And finally we are to the back of the fly. It's going to be the black, your black patch of polar fiber. So you cut it once again as close as possible to the base of the fiber, because you want it to be long enough to do the whole wing. You tie it right on top of the hook. And now the wing is basically complete. You just do your whip finish. Cut away the thread. And this will be covered in epoxy. So you don't really need to have a really strong knot there. So I just put a little bit of glue. So as I said, usually what I use is 5-minute epoxy. 5-minute epoxy can be found pretty cheap anywhere actually. It can be dollar store one, no problem. It will hold really fine. But for this video I will be using UV fly finish, as it will be a lot quicker than doing the full epoxy process. You will do actually the exactly same process while doing it with epoxy. So I have cut already with my template in the foam my head. My first step will be to put my epoxy all around the hook. So this is called thick material. You can see why. And now you will simply put your head on the fly, and you want the point of your head to be right at your eye, and you will fold. I will turn my vise so it will be easier, and you will fold like we see right here, the head over the fly. Then you can take either a bodkin or a toothpick and simply place your epoxy, or in my case it is UV fly finish. You will just make sure that your fly got everything it needs. There is no air, then there is no place to break. You also want to make sure that the head itself is straight. Actually you want it to be really up on the hook. And once it will be dry, actually this is when the art comes. You can make fun with Sharpie. I use a colored Sharpie actually to do my head. Usually they end up being the same color as my wing will be. So this is an example like an old fly. I've already fished this fly, but you can see I used a green Sharpie, a black one for the really top of it, and a bronze one to add a little bit of shade. You can stick on some eyes, like you got eyes in your kit actually. These eyes that you can stick on. If you stick your eyes, keep a little bit of epoxy ready and put it there. It will be a way more durable than only sticking them. So for the art part, the artwork, you can do whatever you want. As long as it looks good for you, you will fish with confidence. Actually, this is the biggest part. If you are feeling lucky, you are feeling like you will catch fish, usually you will fish better and you will catch more fish. So this is the finished product. As I said, you can make fun with Sharpie, you can make fun and simply tie them this way. It will work either way. So this is the Baitfish Foam Head Baitfish using the fly assembly kit from SHOR Fishing for striped bass.